Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm really trying to, get up in that microphone because I know you guys can barely hear me. I know I have a very, very fairy voice. It's very quiet, and I'm trying my best. And at some point, we will upgrade this microphone, but right now, this microphone is the best we can do. We're just gonna make it work, you know what I mean? So, hi, welcome back to my channel. If we are meeting for the first time, my name is Brittany, and this is my channel, Be the Little Light. I love to stay here with you guys, vibe, shuffle cards, and really just tap into the collective energy for whoever is watching, whenever you're watching. I trust that there is a reason why, and there are some confirmations and golden nuggets for you. Take what resonates, what feels right for you. Use your own discernment. You know what messages are for you. So, at the time of me filming this, even though this message is timeless whenever you watch this, I trust that there will be something for you in it. But at the time that I am filming it, it is right after we just had this new moon in Cancer, and we're in Cancer season, and also we're on the eve of the 7/7 portal. When I was on my walk, I got this very loud message from Spirit to do a reading, and also Spirit was showing me 77, also showing me the 7/7 portal. So I feel there is significance around that. Now, if you are watching this at any other time, not around those dates, those numbers still could be relevant to you. 77 could be relevant to you. You could be seeing 777. Take what resonates, but I do feel, I always feel like any portal days are always significant. Every day is significant, but I really feel very strongly that portal days are just days where that energy is, and the energy and the momentum to really traverse and quantum leap, paradigm jump is even amplified more than usual. And so we can use that to our benefit in whichever way we are trying to manifest. So just want to get a general energy of what is, thank you, being highlighted for our collective. All right. Life, thank you. These are loud messages. Okay, so there's this message. Thank you. Oh, that one's a little far down. Oh. One moment. Do 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 do. All right. So for the first message we got is about your life force energy. I'll show you this imagery. Beautiful, beautiful. But it's talking about making sure we're doing things that are filling up our cups. And it's very interesting because at the time that I'm filming this, we are in Cancer season. And this is a time where things are feeling extra emotionally charged. And Cancer is that water energy. And I very much associate, for me, the energy of Cancer feels very watery, feels like the ocean. And, with large bodies of water, and the ocean in particular, there are different energies of the water. It can be still, it can be a little wavy, it can be choppy, and waves could be of all different sizes. And sometimes those waves can feel like they're wiping us out. And other times we can use those waves to our advantage and learn how to surf them, or we can be pummeled by that energy. And I feel like this is coming back to being mindful of what season we're in so that we can be aware and use the tools in our toolbox and the knowledge that we have to work with the energies as best as we can, so that we don't feel like we are constantly 24/7 being pummeled. even though we are traversing through very intense energies, emotions at this time. It is so, so important to remember to come back into ourselves and find the things that we can do that are going to bring us back into alignment and have us feeling like ourselves. And actually, I want to show you, before I talk about the rest of these, I want to show you the energy, the imagery of each of these cards to me look like bodies of water. And I just think that's very interesting because this is the guiding light oracle. So all of these images are of the universe, of the galaxy. But I just happened to notice that this particular time, this is really giving me that watery energy. And it's just very synchronistic. Now, with this second card, Synergy, this is talking about what makes you you is blending all your different skills, knowledge in the different areas, and allowing those things to represent you, your core essence. So this is getting us out of these boxes, these limitations of being, for example, just a singer or just an actor or just a writer or just a Reiki healer or just a tarot reader or just a CEO of a company, whatever, or just a teacher, whatever that looks like for you, recognizing that you are not one singular thing. You do not have one singular talent to offer. You have a multitude of skills. You have a wide set of knowledge in different areas that makes you unique to you. So it's combining all of those things, and they're also showing me that this is also tied into past lives and talking about how your core cellular DNA, that memory that is stored within you, within your DNA from the past lives, those things are all a culmination in this life of who you are. And it comes out in different ways. Whether you were a poet or you were a priest in other lives, each of these things, these memories, core skills of you are embedded in who you are, in your DNA, in your cellular memory. And it's like this life is you expressing different facets of that and finding your own way to meld all of these things together and express them as your most true, authentic self. And that's why a lot of you find yourselves not being interested in one particular thing. It is because you are not simple in the way that you are just one thing. You are a multi-dimensional being who has knowledge and experience, and you also have access to these core memories even if you are not conscious of it. But it's also something that you could work on at any time if you would like to gain access to that. And I'm seeing, like, for example, halls, like halls of a mentee or Akashic records. I'm seeing like a giant library of all of this knowledge, of all these different books of you, of lives that you have experienced. That data, that information doesn't just wipe out because you are no longer in that life. That memory, that data gets stored permanently in these like ethereal realms that are like libraries essentially, and you always have access to them, and it's something that you can access at any time is what I'm seeing. And it's, they're going a little deeper, a little further, but of what that message, but it's a little redundant, but it's more of saying that if you would like, you have access to learning more of who you are, and it helps you understand yourself more. And also for you to recognize that you are not this limited being, that you are an unlimited being that has unlimited potential. So it's like breaking yourself out of this box, this singular box that people are wanting you to identify as this one thing, this one archetype, this one this or you're that, you're here, you're there, you're left or you're right, you're blah, 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 blah. You don't have to be in a box. The box limits you. The box does not define you. And with this third card, we have empathic overload. And this is simply being aware that energies outside, anything outside of you, whether that's other people in your home or your neighbors or people at work or people on the road or world events that are going on, being mindful that those energies could be very well affecting you if you are not doing the things, again, that bring you back into your center, that bring you back into your own alignment. It's being mindful that you are a giant sponge, a giant antenna, and it is your duty, and you are the only one that can actually fully clear yourself, keeping your waters clear. It is your responsibility, but it is also your right as a sovereign being. You do not need to take on the world and be a martyr. It is not only okay, but it's also imperative for your overall well-being and your growth and your ascension journey to make sure that you are constantly keeping your channels clear. And at the bottom here, I have you are worthy. I love the colors of that. I love that. So yeah, that's a pretty straightforward message. Understanding your worth. And also this goes back into, it is not your duty to take on the world's things, the world's energies, and that just because there are things going on or there are things going on in your life or people that you know, it doesn't mean that you being happy, having a good time, carving out time for yourself, being in the energy of joy and having fun, it does not mean that because all these other things are going on that you are not deserving to be in that energy, to feel joy, to feel happy, to feel light, to feel secure. You are more than deserving to be in that energy. So, we love a long-winded intro. Thank you, Spirit. So, tapping into the energy of La Luna. I want to see what the moon is, guiding us to focus on at this time. You're saying, don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to breathe. And I can feel it. I feel the surge of energy. I feel it is like this giant wave. And that is how like charged the energy is right now. We are in just the first week of July, and honestly, personally, how I have experienced it, July so far has been the longest month and the most like it's been like the most wild cosmic ride that I have experienced so far in this year. I'm looking at this because look, so this is from the Moonology deck, and if you know this deck, I'll just show you like it's mostly, you know, the moon, but look at this one. Look at these waves like I was talking about. So this card says nothing is yet set in stone. Immutable moon. And this with the waters here is again talking about surfing We're traversing the different waters that are going on. And right now, a lot of the waters do, with that current energy, feel very murky, and they do feel very choppy, unstable. They feel like the types of water that could take you under. And maybe you will be under for a few moments. But it's using the tools in your toolbox to stabilize yourself and to not feel like you are being completely taken out by these waters that are unpredictable at this moment. And with the nothing is yet set in stone, that's also a message meant to be to empower you, to remind you that one, there is always divine play at works, divine orchestration, that you can't always imagine how things are going to go, but also that at any moment in time, you have the power and the decision to decide what you're going to do, which is going to affect the outcomes down the road. Didn't As I was shuffling, they told me, remember to breathe, because I was feeling the energy of the water surge up. Take time to breathe out. So this energy, again, it is a reminder to breathe, but this specific card talks about when something reached its maximum and now it's coming into that, coming down from the heightened experience, that heightened full moon energy. That's when it's coming down. And that's also like when the dust is starting to settle, when the waters are starting to be calmer. That period is when more clarity starts to come in, because you are not in this heightened nervous system fight or flight energy. And we have conclusions are within reach. It's very interesting. It's like I'm seeing a story here. I'm seeing a story here about heightened energies, things that have already come to a head, its maximum emotionality, like an argument, expressions of anger, meltdown, whatever, major disagreement, clashing. I'm seeing that energy. I'm seeing the energy calm down and where clarity is coming through, but also being mindful of navigating through that very wishy-washy, unpredictable, choppy energy. At the bottom here, nothing will come of this situation. Void, of course, moon, and there's a couple different messages with this. One is realizing that you have gained all you could of a certain situation when a situation has reached its peak. Again, going back to this like maximum energy, recognizing, okay, this is the most, I can't really gain more out of this experience, out of this connection, out of this situation, whatever it is. It's realizing that you've come to a point where you know it's time to get off this train. I'm also seeing a different message about using that time after things have really exploded, come to the surface, been heightened, to go into the energy of the void. And for me, with this moon being in the distance, I'm really seeing all of this as the void itself, but I feel like it's like drawing more out of the situation and having that time to be quiet and go into the space of nothingness, which is in your meditation, in your prayer, just your moments of coming back into your own energy after kind of maybe you feel like the world, people, situations have been screaming at you or screaming for your attention. Going into silence to really spirit, what's that word? Integrate, to really integrate and allow that energy to settle. And because a lot of times when we have these very energetically charged experiences, whatever reaction we are going into because we are in fight or flight, a lot of times it takes a while after that energy has calmed down for things to process later of, oh, but in that moment you were just go, go, go because you were fight or flight. I have to make my stance this way, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes it's that later on, it's that drive home away after the situation where things really hit you and you have a meltdown or you start crying or you're like, fuck, that really just happened and I'm not happy about that. And I felt strong in that moment, but now actually I feel like kind of pissed off about it or upset about it or unhappy with how the whole thing went down. We're being encouraged right now to really sit with the emotions of the things that we are experiencing, because right now is a highly emotional time. And a message that I had been getting for myself over and over as well had been and has continued to be in this season is self-care. And when I find myself really feeling extra vulnerable and feeling very triggered by certain situations, to make it a point, what can I do for myself today that is going to be an act of self-care? Maybe it's one thing, or maybe it's several things that I need to do for myself. I've been getting messages about self-nurturing. How can we nurture ourselves? A lot of times when we experience things, we are looking to someone, like when we were babies and we were looking to a parent to soothe us, right? And whether we did or didn't get those experiences in our childhood, there's always this innate nature to want that, to seek that. And when we are not feeling fulfilled in the way, in the responses that we would like to receive from others, we can really go down the stories and start feeling pity or unworthiness or things like that. And the message just keeps coming back of, how can I nurture myself? If I'm feeling that I'm wanting to be coddled, how can I coddle myself? And if that still isn't good enough for me, then those are the moments where I lean into God, source, the creator, my own relationship to the all that is, and I ask, and I have been asking recently, can you please hold me? The divine, can you please hold me? Divine Mother, Divine Father, can you please hold me in this moment? I want to be held. And really allowing for that expansion and that deepening within yourself and your relationship with your highest self and with the all that is, connecting you deeper into your divinity. Okay. Okay, we'll go with the self-care messages. What are the self-care messages for the collective in this time? Thank you. All right. So these messages, we have change course. You see we have the door and we have 3 keys there. This goes back and ties into that message I was seeing earlier about this message I was seeing earlier about the outcome depends on what you decide now, and it's your choice. Of course, ultimately, you will end up wherever you are meant to be, but the journey is your choice. You get to make the decision which door you walk down, which key you take. That's your choice. You can decide to go any different direction at any time. You can also revisit a course that you moved away from. That is all your choice. I'm also seen security. This, actually, let me read that first. Okay, a closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. It's time to change course. That ties into the message about, where is it, Spirit? You've gained all you can from a situation. You've reached a peak. You have reached a peak with a situation. And so realizing that something has come to an end, or that it's time for you to move on, that it's time for you to get off this train station, it can feel very heavy. It can feel like a death. It could feel like disappointment, all of these things. But instead, you can really zoom out of the situation and see that this was the part of your journey, and it's actually a sign of your evolution, that you have reached the end with something, and there's something more for you to continue on a different path. And with this security card, we have true security comes from having a reserve of time, space, energy, personal power, and love. Make deposits in all of these accounts and you'll be a wealthy person indeed. And that ties into the beginning message with life force energy. Prioritizing the things that fill your cup back up, but also allow you to feel the most you, that allow you to show up, that support you being and showing up and embodying your true authentic self, making time for those things that you know are in your best interest, your well-being, making all of those things a priority. So it's like adding to each of those pots that are important, these cauldrons in your life, the major cauldrons in your life that are important to you, making sure that you add enough potion sparkles to each of those cauldrons. Because how much you add to those cauldrons equals up to the sum of what you are currently experiencing. I'm seeing it like a big math equation. So where is the math not mathing in your life? And where can you shift things so that they feel more equal for you, that they feel more balanced, that you feel more balanced, so that you feel like you have overflows in your life in a positive way, instead of feeling like you're in the negative and in these major important areas in your life that are important to you specifically. What do you prioritize in your life? What is of most value to you in your life? Not what society is telling you should be important to you? What is actually most valuable to you in your heart? Sitting with that, you can even write that down if you want, put them in the different categories and see how much of your time and your energy are you giving to those areas in your life, and are you happy with that? And if you're not happy with that, or if you feel that there could be room for improvement, sitting with yourself and figuring out how to make that more balanced. And if you feel called to sitting with the divine, sitting with spirit, sitting with your angels, sitting with your guides, sitting with your highest self, and asking, how can you move so that these areas feel more balanced in your life and you can show up more as your authentic self. At the bottom here, we have invitation. I feel like this is about speaking things into existence, being mindful of what you say, how words are spells, tying back into the cauldron imagery that I was seeing. You're casting spells with your words. So what types of spells do you want to cast? Maybe they're beauty spells or health spells or money spells or abundance spells, but you are doing it with your words constantly. The words you speak are an invitation to life, a request to bring energy into form. Choose your words carefully. Yeah. Thank you, Spirit. Is there anything else? Okay. What else do you want to bring attention to for this reading? I'll wrap this up for a beautiful lovelies. Thank you. Thank you. Cannot make this shit up, you guys. Yemaja, goddess of the sea, mother of all. We are in the thick of it, you guys. We are in the waters. We are in the waters, and there's like, we're just all in this water energy right now, regardless of whether you know, your big three is in Cancer or not. It doesn't matter. We are all being affected by this energy. It does affect us all differently, of course, based on a multitude of things, but this is the energy that's present. And the water of energy is unlimited. The water of energy is unlimited, but it also represents birth. The birthing canal, and also the water is very feminine. Water is very emotional, but it is like the mother ocean. It is a very feminine nature. And a lot of times that's why the feminine nature is associated with being emotional. But a balanced feminine energy will be tuned in and aware of their emotionality, and will be comfortable with sitting with the different emotions that pop up, so that it doesn't swallow you whole, so that the waves don't keep you down for long. You are magic. You are. Embrace the magic of your being. This is reminding you that you are a master creator. You are a master soul. It is hard. It is hard being here. You are a master soul. Everyone on earth is a master soul. We would not be here if you were not. Point blank, period. We have citrine, goal setting, abundance, positive energy. This is keeping the eye on the prize, the things that you really want to bring into your life. cultivating those plans, following them with inspired action, so that you can truly manifest those things and bring them into physicality. Also, watering your goals, watering your dreams, watering your manifestation with inspired action, and also words of affirmation, knowing that it will work out for you. And if not this, then something better, because it'll all be in your highest and greatest good. At the bottom here, we have Guan Yin. I love this card. Goddess of Compassion. I feel like this is, since we are talking about the energy of water, emotionality, emotional depth, this is talking about our capacity to feel for others, to be compassionate for others, also our compassion, our capacity to love, our capacity to really see and hear others, being compassionate with all of our senses, really seeing people, really being there for them, really feeling them, really seeing them as their selves, as their divine selves, but also being compassionate towards yourself, that things are difficult sometimes, that you are constantly going through growing pains, that we are all constantly going through growing pains, and we are all swimming sometimes against a current, and we are all fighting our own battles in the ocean and trying not to get swallowed alive by the sharks of our minds. That we are all doing the best we can, and that includes yourself. Be compassionate towards others, being compassionate towards yourself. So that is where I'm going to end the reading today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up if you feel like it. Let's put in the wave emojis, or some water emojis, or some surfing emojis, or any other emojis that you feel like. I really did, as always, have fun doing this reading for you, but I really just, I get it, you guys. I'm in the thick of it too. We are part of the collective, so I get it. It is not easy, but you are worth it. Your journey and your story is worth it, and it's beautiful. So give yourself credit for how far you come, for all that you are working with. That you're still standing. It must be for a reason. So I will see you guys next time. Take care of yourselves.